Alright, you lot. It's another week of gaming hell and questions keep coming in hotter than a GPU without thermal paste. Devs are blowing whistles loud enough to pop eardrums, publishers are tripping over their own lies, and community still split between truth diggers and dopamine junkies. You asked, I answer. No PR polish, no brand safe dodging, just straight talk with your Yorkshire sting. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks if you're ready to hear what studios don't want said out loud. This first question comes from SilverBullet90, who asks, what do you think about dev from Treyarch Activision exposing 2 studios? I think it's kinda dev nuke that should have ended Call of Duty franchise entirely. Full stop. No sequel, no spin-off, no Season 6 mid-event. Pack it in, take servers offline and get QA the lunch break. Michael Anthony didn't leak. He detonated. He called Treyarch and Activision evil. Not shady, not in need of a rethink. Evil. And he brought full buffet of receipts. Crunch abuse, stolen bonuses, perjury over stolen builds, bribery, fake reviews, office slurs, HR threats, QA shafted like serfs in a famine, and execs racking up dinner tabs that could bankroll an indie for a year. What do I think? I think if you've got a functioning brain and even a whiff of principles, you uninstall every COD game you've got. Boycott Black Ops 6, leave dumpster fire behind. If you claim to care about ethics or working conditions in gaming, this is your line in sand. If you kicked off about art in Splitgate but still queue up for shipment 24/7 after hearing all this, you're full of shit. This ain't just your average dev scandal, this is systemic rot baked in. Not just ignored but nurtured. Billion-dollar publisher run like a black site circus. Anthony didn't just expose mismanagement, he laid out a culture of cruelty wrapped in profit margins and gold-plated AR skins. And it's kicker. The Treyarch dev turned up to COD Next with a parody cap that read "Make FPS great again" or "Make zombies not shit again." Same crowd that threw tantrums over cosmetic choices in smaller games would be dead silent. They'd nod, they'd sip G Fuel, they'd say, well, at least it reg feels good this year. Here's your truth. This community runs on dopamine, delusion and double standards. They don't care who gets trampled, not devs, not QA, not themselves. As long as next bundle sparkles and pings when you reload, they'll mainline it like it's man's spaghetti. So what do I think? I think Call of Duty fans are lab monkeys hammering pellet lever while scientists piss themselves behind glass. And now those pellets come laced with litigation and despair. Thanks for the question, mate. You got 2 working brain cells, neither's called Warzone. This question comes from Firkin L1, who asks, Hey Scotty, with current climate in FPS gaming, where money is king and gaming is second place, what do you think future of gaming is going to be like? Future of gaming? It's already bleeding out on carpet and no one's calling ambulance. We're not marching toward a golden age. We're getting cattle prodded into content treadmill dressed like Disneyland and monetized like fucking Payday loan ad. This industry don't dream anymore. It calculates. Every pixel, every frame, every engagement opportunity is a lever to squeeze coins from your spinal fluid. And if you're not paying in cash, you're paying in data. SBMM systems that know your mood better than your mother. Battle passes designed like digital heroin. EOMM scripts that throw matches to keep you desperate for a win. Behavioural economics wearing your favourite game's face like horror movie skin suit. Imagine if FIFA 06 and Halo 3 had a baby raised by crypto bros and hedge fund managers. That's where we're headed. Games as spreadsheets, studios as IP farm, devs as janitors sweeping up bugs while marketing sells another roadmap trailer with zero soul. Indies? They're only bastards still lighting fire with 2 sticks and shouting into the void, but they get buried under algorithm sludge unless a YouTuber with merch to shift decides it's quirky enough to clout chase. So what's future then? Always online, always monetized, always watching. You'll stream your games, rent your skins, and if you stop paying, it'll vanish faster than a Ubisoft title post-launch. You won't be a player, you'll be a revenue stream with thumbs. It's going to be like a haunted amusement park run by middle managers who used to sell insurance. And if that sounds bleak, good, because we can't fix it until we stop pretending ride's still fun. So yeah mate, spot on. Money is king, gaming's on its knees, but there's still a bit of fate left in scrappy devs and stubborn bastards who won't stop pushing real gameplay. Thanks for the question. You're not just watching house burn down, you're grabbing a hose. Same publishers are using it to piss on us. This question comes from Xtram21 who asks, What's your thoughts on YouTubers you mentioned before, especially Jabao and Demand, Jack of all trades, Blame Truth and Foley? Let's not pretend this is a grenade waiting to go off. You asked it like a diplomat with a shotgun behind his back, and fair enough. This is where most creators either dodge question or pull a lukewarm, we all bring something different to table waffle. But not here. You ask what I think, so I'll tell you. I watch every single one of them. Blame Truth, Foley, Jack, JB, Nero, Rick, lot. I don't just watch them, I respect them. I don't mean I agree with everything they say, but I'd rather listen to a loud, flawed, passionate creator than some beige influencer regurgitating PR bullet points we Raid Shadow Legends had halfway through the fake laugh. Let's talk Foley first. I like him, I genuinely do. But he still plays Black Ops 6, and that's where trouble starts. Because no matter how much he screams about how broken it is, engagement numbers don't lie. It's still feeding beast. You can spin it however you want. I play it to stay informed. I want series to be better. But second you log in, you're part of metric. Machine don't care about your intent. It sees clicks, matches played, session time, and it rewards it. Hypocrisy? Maybe, but it's far from only one. Blame Truth? That bloke's been calling out Decay longer than most of his viewers have been alive. He's entertaining, raw, and yeah, he plays a character. That CM Punk fire...
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
Kind of vibe. But make no mistake, there's truth in there. Ugly, inconvenient, tinfoil sounding truth that's aged like a bottle of whiskey sealed in Activision Skull Vault. Half things he warned us about already happened, and most people didn't even notice. That's not negativity, that's foresight. Jabao Man? Love guy. Bigger channel, bigger presence, but humble as hell. Speaks his truth even when it's unpopular, and takes flack on chin. Don't pretend to have all the answer, just gives you his honest tech. Agree or disagree, he'll never lie to your face. And that puts him miles ahead of most. Jack of all trades, kindred spirit. Don't script, just toppens his gob and lets passion fall out. You can hear sincerity. Whether you agree or not, you know it's him. Not a sponsor whispering in his ear. Man deserves more subs than half at content fan clones flooding algorithm with weapon guides and fake rage thumbnail. As for drama side of things, mate, I've had people call me angry, washed up, bitter, shouting at clouds like I'm a Yorkshire version of Groundskeeper Willie on Ket, but it's different. I've seen industry from inside. QA trenches, night builds, bug reports that got buried because a producer wanted to hit marketing deadline instead of fixing actual crash loop. I've been where these devs are. I know what studios hide, and it's kicker. People throwing shade in comment section are often not even fans. The grown-ass toddlers with Wi-Fi and not better to do. Grown men acting like petty children, spitting bile at strangers online cause they don't like thumbnail font. What happened to playing games you enjoy and watching creators you respect? Here's a free life tip. If you hate Splitgate and hate Splitgate creators, maybe go touch some grass. Find a better game. Stop rage-watching content you claim to despise. That ain't engagement, it's masochism with a comment box. But hey, keep commenting. Every angry paragraph you write helps algorithm. Whether you click like or dislike, YouTube just sees you saying, this comment made me feel something, and it rewards that. So yeah, cheers for boost, champ. Hope it were worth it. Thanks for question, Extram. Rare to get one that actually demands a spine to answer. Unlike our foot trolls who still haven't figured out every rage click is helping us more than it hurts. This question comes from Vengeance48 who asks, do you play horror games, and if you do, what's your favourite? Do I? Mate, I've played so many I could write a PhD in pixelated trauma. Horror's my digital comfort food. When I'm not gutting industry lies or dragging SBMM through broken glass, I'm booting up something dark, twisted, and unforgiving. It's therapy, but louder. If I had to name my favourites, top at list, Fear. Not just first one, though it's iconic, but whole lot. All of them live on my SSD like cursed relics, whispering sweet demonic notes. But crown goes to Fear 2, Project Origin. Just something about it, pacing, atmosphere, Alma popping up like Victorian jump scare Pokemon. It gets under your skin and stays there like that one dodgy kebab you regret but never forget. Then there's Doom, all of them, even Dad Rock Carnage or Eternal. But when I go back to like a loyal ex, it's Doom 3. Pure corridor dread, flickering lights, demons in your face before you've finished blinking. No pointless filler, no battle passes, just you, flashlight, and 1,000 regrets. Replay value is so good it makes modern games look like subscription scams with a texture pack. Resident Evil, Code Veronica X and Dead Aim on PS2, played those to death, then dug them up and played them again. Outlast, Propagation, Paradise Hotel, Days Gone, even Metal Hellsinger scratches that Hellfire itch with a shotgun beat. If it screams and bleeds, I've probably played it, but it's twist. I don't make horror content. On purpose. It's my sacred space. Genre I enjoy without dissecting every bloody frame for a script. No joke setup, no corporate takedowns, just headphones on, lights off, some evil breathing in my left ear. Because if I brought my channel energy into horror, I'd be cracking jokes over jump scares and telling Alma to take a number behind Activision on my hit list. So yeah, I keep horror separate, like a good bottle of whiskey. You don't down it during a bar fight, you save it for quiet nights for when you remember what fun used to feel like. If I had to pick one, Doom 3, every time. No dopamine drip, no cosmetics, just demons and bullets. Perfection. Thanks for the question, Vengeance. Always nice to hear from a fellow pixel screamer who enjoys being traumatised for fun. You want it good uns. This question comes from Ages444 who asks, is there an evolution or devolution or a twonk? A twink maybe? Now look mate, I'm not going to pretend term twink ain't already taken and thoroughly used in both World of Warcraft battleground scene and, well, other spandex-inclined circles. Different XP bars, different types of grinding. But let's talk about evolutionary ladder or a twonk. Cause yeah, there is one. It's more like a warped Darwinian slide into terminal brain rot. I've studied specimens. I've mapped species. Step 1. Humble twonk. Loud, wrong, proud of it. Probably tweeting a clip of the 3-kill Warzone moment with Corn Freak on a leash playing in background and captions like, I'm built different. Next stage, troll. We love these ones. We talked about them earlier in Extram's question. They think they're winding us up. In reality, they're just inflating ad revenue and pushing us up algorithm like unpaid interns with anger issues. I should be cutting them 5% of my YouTube payout. They work harder than half of Activision's community team. After that, fucktard. These are special. You say skill issue and they respond with your lifetime stats, your IP address, the diameter of your monitor stand. Their KD is their personality. And it's kicker. COD's SBMM means nobody has a KD over 1.0 anymore unless they're glitching Matrix with VPNs or shooting bots in reverse boosted bronze lobbies. These clowns still think they're esports ready cause they clipped a Timmy with one thumb and packet loss. Then you've got shills, corporate meat puppets. They parrot PR lines like a malfunctioning Alexa. And it's fun part. When they say, I'm sponsored but I'm keeping it real with you, that phrase is literally in contract script. It's marketing hypnosis. Say that line, get check. Skip it, no payout. So no, they're not keeping it real. They're just reading incantation that makes you believe they are. And at bottom at barrel, echoes. These ones don't play a game. Hell, they don't even own a console. They just copy-paste whatever the favourite creator said 5 minutes ago. Their entire opinion is pre-tuned content. The human equivalent are a fax machine printing Reddit text from 2016 and thinking it's an original thought. Lights are on, but nobody's ever lived there. So yeah, there's your full history of twonk evolution. Starts with arrogance, ends in corporate servitude, and a long way makes dogshit look like Einstein. Thanks for the question, Ages. It's always nice to get zoological requests that let me air out taxonomy of stupidity. Stay sharp, or you might find yourself at next evolution chart. This question comes from Pyro Friendly Arsonist 9195, who asks, is using AI really that bad? Short answer, mate, not at all. Not unless you're a $1 trillion corporate parasite firing staff just to fan shareholder feed trough. Let's break this one down before torches come out. AI's a tool, like a paintbrush, like hammer, like wooden spoon your nan used to slap you with when you said bloody hell too close to the microwave. And like every tool, it comes down to who's holding it. Now if you're a 2-person indie studio working off Red Bull fumes and overdraft limits, using AI to help generate placeholder art or rough code, that's called survival. That's getting scrappy to make something creative without wrecking bank or your spine. And as long as you're honest about it, cracking stuff. More power to you. Now, I've used it here, right here on channel. Some of early Hey Scotty and Twonk Chronicles thumbnails, AI. Channel banner and profile icon, AI. I used tools because they were there. But, and this is important bit, I still make scripts. Voice is still me, videos still me, rage, jokes, vinegar-drenched metaphors, all me. Every frame of fury handcrafted from ashes of industry bollocks. Even when AI helps me upscale odd image in Canva, I'm still cleaning up mess. Cause AI is like that intern who thinks they're clever, but needs to work red pen before it goes live. It's helper, not a replacement, unless you're Activision. And that's where the bastard line gets drawn. See, when a company like Activision lays off thousands of developers, QA and artists, people with mortgages, families, actual souls, and then smugly slides AI into the chairs like no one will notice, that's corporate heresy. You remember numbers? $6 billion in under 8 months? That's profit, not revenue. $6 billion in gravy while they cut staff and use AI to fill blanks for a broken game. No oversight, no polish, just slap it in and hope dopamine monkeys will lap it up between broken menus and rubber banding. AI in hands of desperate indie team is innovation. AI in hands of AAA teams like Activision's exploitation. And when fans defend it, like it's some genius cost-saving measure, you're not playing devil's advocate, you're just holding Satan's briefcase while he signs your soul away for a shader pack. So to answer your question, Pyro, is AI bad? No, mate, but who uses it and why is where real horror story begins. Thanks for the question. Always love a spark from our mate Pyro. Just keep flames away from server room, yeah? This question comes from Asian Persuasion, who asks, you still grinding COD, or have you ditched it and moved on to playing other games such as SG2, Battlefront 2? Do you think SG2 has what it takes to recover? Grinding COD? Mate, I stopped grinding that franchise like a year-old peppermill back when Cold War started coughing up dust. That game what warning sign. One where I finally knew for sure. Game has been replaced by a dopamine-selling husk in a nostalgia mask. But then Modern Warfare 3 came swaggering in, flexing all that early 2000s grip and whispering, remember Terminal? So I gave it a shot. My son picked me up Modern Warfare 2 to level up guns in DMZ before carryover kicked in. That were fun for a hot minute. Then Modern Warfare 3 dropped. I dove in, straight into a swamp of recycled rock. Gameplay felt so dead inside it were like running a marathon on a treadmill made of regret. Zombies gave us some laughs though. Jump in, wipe out dead, extract with loot, loot odd mission, but it didn't have legs. Just same rinse and repeat loot with no soul behind it. Then weirdest thing happened. My older son got shadow banned, and that was when COD became fun again. No SBMM, no sweats, just proper multiplayer chaos. Mics lit up, banter were back, and for 5 glorious days it felt like 2009 all over again. Then it ended. After that, Extrafight dropped. Boom, gone, done. COD uninstalled like malware. I dipped into Black Ops 6 beta on Game Pass, played a few rounds, came out other end screaming that it was worst beta in COD history. That's not clickbait. That's not edge for views. That's gut reaction from someone who's played every damn title since series had numbers instead of sequel. Full game? Tried it on cloud just to jump into zombies with my son. Played 2, maybe 3 matches. Felt like trying to enjoy pizza with food poisoning. I physically can't stomach it anymore. Everything about it just reeks. Controls, visual, flow. Saw Modern Warfare with Black Ops sticker on top. Same IW9 engine that's been dragging every title since Modern Warfare 2 through molasses. As for Black Ops 7, I'll maybe dip into beta out of curiosity, but only enough to confirm it's still same steaming pile in a new box. I'm not walking in hopeful, I'm seeing how this sausage gets made, and it ain't prime meat, it's floor sweepings and expired ketchup. Now he also asked if I think SG2 has what it takes to recover. Honestly mate, I want to say yeah, but I don't know. It all depends on how they handle it from here. I saw they're adding more portal warps, and yeah, that's brilliant if you're an OG who remembers Splitgate 1 fondly, but here's kicker. Those new players that picked up a long way, that portal complexity could chase them straight out at back door. You gotta strike a balance between welcome and what hell just happened to me. Yeah, I hear OG crowd shouting, that's all point to Splitgate, and I agree, but if you scare off fresh blood, game will dry up faster on PC than a water balloon in Death Valley. And let's not kid ourselves, PC player base has been dropping numbers harder than dev team under Bobby Kotick. You go queue on Steam, you're waiting anywhere from 30 seconds to 30 bloody minutes. And that's on a good night when moon's aligned with your Ethernet cable. Console side, different story. I jump on Xbox, I'm in the match in 30 seconds flat. No sweat, no stress. Just boots on ground and portals in air. Feels like EU servers too. though I can't verify that from console side. On PC, I connect to US more than I connect to my own bloody region, and that's cause most console players have crossplay switched off faster than a dodgy toaster. Why? Console players are terrified at PC master race and all the god tier flick shots. Meanwhile, PC lads are equally spooked by console crowds' magnetic aim assist bunny up meta. It's like watching two tribes of cavemen grunt at each other from across the river, both too stubborn to admit other ones a valid reason to exist. Still, devs are listening, that's what matters. They've gone back to beta for a reason. They're actually tuning into community feedback instead of shouting into void like Activision's community team during the server crash. Potential's there. Fire's not out, but they need to walk tightrope between complexity and accessibility. Or only place Splitgate 2's gonna live is in console lobbies and dusty highlight reels. So yeah, I'm hopeful, but cautiously. Thanks for that question, AP. That's a double-barreled one and a damn good reminder that recovery is possible, just not guaranteed. So what have we learned? That COD's a lab experiment where ethics are a bomb villain, that indie devs are carrying solar industry while big boys auction off its corpse, that Splitgate's got fight left if it stops tripping over its own portals, and that AI is just another tool, till you put it in hands of a boardroom ghoul who sees human layoffs as a feature, not a bug. But more than all, we learned this. You lot at line, not streamers, not suits, you. Every uninstall, every comment, every creator you back who actually gives a toss, that's resistance, and it's working. Join Discord, follow on X, consider a channel membership if you still got faith in player voices of a publisher's spin. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your comments and questions below if you're sick of gaming Stockholm Syndrome, and I'll see you next time, you magnificent